You're just a liar, and you lie, and you lie, and you lie, and you lie. Like, you just lie. Do what you gotta do, kid. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you grab a snack. Make sure you get comfortable because today's video is going to be kind of long and it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be really entertaining. So I hope you guys are in the mood for a story time. I don't really do story times on my channel, but I mean, I have all the time in the world right now to create content, and I said, you know what the heck? Let's do a story time about my life. So I wanted to give you guys something a little bit lighthearted to listen to and hear me rant about and do my makeup at the same time. So also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell too, so you guys are notified when I post more videos, okay? And yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it. This is about to be 2 weeks that I'm in Florida. I'm doing okay. This is a very interesting time. I think you've probably seen a bunch of other beauty gurus talk about the same thing. If I don't say everything that I'm using today, I'll definitely list it down in the description, so don't worry. I don't want to be on here and be somewhat of a downer, so I'm going to try to keep it pretty light. Nobody expected the year to start out like this. Right now, like I said, I'm in Florida with my family. I decided to just be here because I just want to be home with people that, you know, I know are around me, and being out in LA right now just probably wouldn't be the most ideal situation mentally. It's kind of funny though, because they're not funny, but it's just so interesting that everyone is going through the same thing at the same time. Like, no, we're not going through this alone, and I think that's what makes it somewhat good, I guess, or better. Another thing I've been doing is cooking a lot. I've been doing a lot of like just trying things. I don't even cook like that, but now I feel like once this is over, I'm gonna actually know how to do a little something, because can't really go out to eat like that, which honestly I've been saving money because I haven't been able to go out to eat. It's crazy. It's so crazy. This is crazy. This is so crazy. This is crazy. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Let's go ahead and finish this so we can get into what you guys really came here for, which is the story time. I know I'm taking a minute to get to it, but I just wanted to like kind of get my feelings out that I'm feeling about this whole thing, and just know that we see each other. We see each other, okay? When I was in high school, I was very much so I was a very eccentric kid. I was into performing arts. I was into just all kinds of stuff. Like I was like doing the drama class, which was like acting. I was in a choir. I was into dance and all that stuff like that. So my school was pretty small, and everyone basically knew each other. We all knew each other, which in turn we all knew who was dating who was talking to who. We just knew everything. We just knew a lot of information about each other because it was so small. At that time, nobody was really each other's friends, if I may say. I got bullied a lot, and that was just that. Like, people knew who I was because it was a small school, but it wasn't like I was like popular or everybody wanted to be my friend type of thing. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. I ended up dating, we can call him, because I don't really want to bring him up right now. We could call him Jonathan. Let's call him Jonathan. I was dating Jonathan at the end of my freshman year. I ended up going to New York at the end of my freshman year because my mom took us up there to pursue modeling. She just took us up there for a summer because a lot of, you know, companies and stuff at that time were doing like what they call summer in the city, and a lot of kids would go up there and audition for campaigns, all kinds of stuff. Like, we would just go on casting calls and we would, you know, try to potentially get something. So that was really fun, and I really enjoyed that because that was something I was really passionate about at the time. I really wanted to be a model. I really wanted to pursue all the kind of things because I was already into that kind of stuff. So at that time, I guess I was just maybe naive because like, oh yeah, when I come back, like, me and him are going to still be together and it's going to be whatever. But I just wasn't thinking like, hey, you're gone for 2 months, almost 3 months out of the summer. I don't think what you think is going to happen when you come back is going to be the same. In my head, I thought, oh yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be my boyfriend and it's gonna be all good. Like, we're just gonna be together and we're gonna pick up basically where we left off. So I remember one time I came back and I remember, I think it was like, I was doing like community service and I was like, oh, I'm gonna come do community service because I was still like communicating with him. It wasn't like he was giving me any signs of that him not wanting to be with me. I think at the time he was probably talking to somebody else, like I'm sure. Because he just had a lot more freedom than I did. Like his mom kind of let him do whatever he wanted. And I didn't have freedom like that. Like my mom didn't even want me to have a boyfriend. Like I was like basically sneaking having a boyfriend because she didn't even know that I was in the relationship at the time. I remember telling my mom, I was like, I want to go do community service at the school. You know, I'm just gonna go hang out with my friends. We're gonna do pick up trash and stuff like that. And I remember I was so nervous, but I was so excited to see him. When I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, Jonathan. Like, I gave him a big hug, and I remember him just kind of being like, hey, what's up? And I was like, dude, I haven't seen you in 2 months. Like, that's it? Like, that's all you're giving me? Okay. That was awkward. I was still very, very naive. This is my first boyfriend for real. Like, I was just like, okay, well, I guess that's just how it's supposed to be. Like, he's gonna give me kind of the cold shoulder. It's no big deal. No big deal. I didn't take it as like him basically trying to like not be with me anymore because we got along pretty well. We were like really good friends at first and then like we started dating, but that's another story for another day. So school starts back and one of our mutual friends was just kind of like, I guess she had a crush on him. And actually I know she had a crush on him. And they were like really, really close or whatever, but I just kind of like, I was like, whatever, because we were all friends, kind of. In my head, I thought we were all friends, but whatever. But it started to get a little bit more warm. It was close to the end of, or like the middle of the school year. So it was like maybe around this kind of, actually it was probably around the same time. You know, I felt like me and my boyfriend at the time were doing good. Like, I was like, oh, he's my boyfriend. Like, I was feeling a little bit happier about things. And I thought that like him and I were doing pretty well. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get married and, you know, all that craziness stuff that we would talk in our younger years, not knowing any better. Let's just get into how naive I was, all right? I was very naive about this whole situation. I didn't know that people could be so terrible, all right? So, I'm about to use the NC42 foundation stick from MAC. My skin is really, really all over the place right now as far as color goes because I've been outside tanning in my backyard. I don't really know what color I am right now, to be honest. Like, I feel like this foundation stick is really the color that I am, to be honest with you. One day, my boyfriend texts me, and he's like, oh, one of my friends, family friend, whatever, invited my family to go to this place called Blizzard Beach. If you live here in Florida, you know what Blizzard Beach is. It's one of those, like, water parks that are, you know, down here that everybody goes to basically all year round because it's always hot here. I was like, well, who is it? And he mentioned this girl. Let's name her freaking Jiu-Jitsu because that's basically what her name was. So Jiu-Jitsu was a family friend, but she also went to our school. And at the time, I didn't know that she was known around the school as like somebody that, you know, would get around a bit. I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was that girl. When I tell you, I have my head down and I was so focused on like just the arts and obviously my school and like my boyfriend, but I wasn't paying attention to anything else other than that, outside of that, to be honest. Like my mind was just never there. She was in my dance class. I barely paid attention to her. I had no idea. I didn't know. I remember saying this. It's so crazy because I'm filming this in the room that like I had this conversation years ago. I remember sitting actually right here in this corner and I was like, I don't really trust her, but I trust you. Your boyfriend asked you if he can go to a water park with a girl. Like, you're already going to be like, I don't really know about that. Like, why you need to go? But he made it seem like he really had no option. But he was just basically letting me know. I was just like, okay, well, you know, like, I guess have fun. So the whole day goes by. He doesn't really text me. I don't even think he texted me that whole day, actually. I ended up having to, like, I end up texting him the next day. I'm like, yo, how did it, you know, how's everything, whatever. He never really, like, said anything. He was just like, oh, yeah, it was fun. And that was it. He kind of just left it like that. And so I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. We go back to school. I almost forgot this part. We go back to school. We're all, our mutual friends are all, like, talking outside of the hallway. And I didn't notice, really, that he had, like, a different demeanor at the time. And I think if my intuition was a little bit better, now I definitely know when something was like up. But at the time I didn't really understand. I was just kind of like, oh, to me, he seemed like he was acting normal. So we, you know, are hanging out outside of the school, whatever, and just chilling and stuff, talking about the weekend. And the girl that he went to the water park with just comes up and just stands there and like just stares at him. And she's just like this. And I'm sitting here like, what's going on? I'm just like, and our guy friend, he just was like, everybody's looking nervous. And it just doesn't register to me what's going on. I'm just still just sitting there like really confused. And then when she walks away, and I was like, what was that about? Like, she's weird. Nobody says anything. I thought it was weird, but I didn't think anything of it. Man, when I tell you that you could literally pull the wool over my eyes and I wouldn't even know what was happening, that's how naive I was. I was so blind to like what was going on. And I didn't think anything of it, didn't hear anything else about it. But I kept noticing that she would just stare at him. I didn't think anything. Oh my God. I'm like getting mad at myself for thinking about this. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, damn, she's weird. Like, why does she keep staring? Everything is cool. Everything is whatever. And I remember, I think I remember posting on not Instagram, on my MySpace. I was like, I'm tired of this. I know what's going on. I don't know why I said that. I had an inkling. Something just wasn't right. It's like I was just testing the waters to see what would happen. I get a text message. He's just like, I just really need to talk to you. Like, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, well, what do you need to tell me? And he just wouldn't really say. I'm like, oh my God, just freaking tell me. Like, what do you need to tell me? He's like, okay, so you know when I went to the water park with jiu-jitsu, and basically the whole day she was flirting with me the whole day, and then like before we left the water park, she pulled me into the bathroom and she gave me, and I was like, I remember reading that, and okay, at that time we weren't even like intimate like that. I was a virgin. Like, I didn't think about doing stuff like that yet. I just wasn't in my head. Like, I wasn't there. And I was so shocked when I tell you I cried my eyes out. I was so hurt. I remember breaking down in my room and just crying the whole day. And I had to act like nothing was wrong because at that time my mom just really didn't know like what was going on. And I didn't tell her. And I just kept it a secret. And I was going through this whole thing basically by myself. I ended up calling my friend the same day and I was like, oh my gosh, Jonathan just told me that he let jiu-jitsu like put her mouth on his thing. And I was just like so sad. I was distraught. Okay. The next day I seen him and we had a talk, and I just remember him apologizing and saying that he just felt so bad. And he's like, I really like you, and like I'm so sorry that I did that, and I just couldn't live with it anymore. I couldn't like look at you. I'm like, nigga, you went months looking at me acting like nothing was wrong. You went months. I'm so sorry. I wanted to fight everybody. Like, I was so angry. And then I had this digital design class because I was in digital design. I don't know why. It's so crazy how my life is aligned right now because I was in digital design and I started doing YouTube, and it just happened. You know, your life is made how it's supposed to be. Like, it aligns how it's supposed to be aligned. And there was this guy in there that I used to just like, I felt like he was like my brother. Like, he just kind of gave me like big brother vibes. I told him, I was like, yeah, he cheated on me. He's like, I knew. I was like, nigga, you knew? You didn't even tell me? You're supposed to be my brother. Like, wow, you knew this whole time. He was like, I wanted to tell you. I told him if he didn't tell you, I was going to tell you. And I was like, but why didn't you say anything? He's like, I was just waiting for him I just wanted to give him the opportunity to tell you, but I knew that he cheated on you. But I ended up taking him back. I was made to look stupid a couple more times after that, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I learned. Some people you just aren't supposed to keep around. They're literally for a season. And my mom definitely kept reiterating that to me as a kid, like, or as a young adult, because I was a teenager at the time. She's like, people are literally around for a season sometimes, and you just can't like force it. And I just kept trying to force that relationship. Ugh, I was so stupid. So continuing the story. I stayed with him like to my senior year. I was with him for a long time. Like, we were together, but we were having issues. We were having a lot of issues. Kind of was just over it. I was having an issue with our friend group. There was some girls that were just making my life a living hell. And I wasn't really friends with a lot of them because over the years, I realized how much they weren't my friends. Like, I didn't want to deal with them anymore. So oh my God, so much as Jermaine. I almost said Jermaine, not Jermaine. I was slowly just realizing that I don't like you. You do things that are so, like, something about you I just don't like. And I couldn't really get over the fact that he had cheated on me, even though I tried really hard to look over it. It was just like I never trusted him after that. And that's another thing. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they do something to you and you forgive them, you have to forgive them. You can't bring it up no more. You got to let it go if that's what you want to do. If you want to still be with that person, you can't hold on and harbor to those things. You have to just let it go because you're allowing it. I just couldn't trust him so much that I was starting to we would have arguments all the time, and it was just bad. Like, it wasn't a good relationship at all. I was trying to be there for him though, because he had experienced a death in his family, and I was trying to just be a good girlfriend, and I really wanted to be there for him. And I basically took that on. I took on that trying to be there for him because he had went through something that was really, really terrible. I honestly feel like after that happened to him, he was never really the same person anymore. He was just really sad all the time, and he just really wasn't happy. Sometimes you just can't be that person for that person that you want to be that person for. So I realize that obviously now. But I was trying to just be a girlfriend, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be there for you, I want to be there for you. I felt like he was just kind of pushing me away and not wanting to be in a relationship with me anymore. I don't fault him for that, because I don't know how I would react to somebody passing away in my family. I probably would feel, I don't know, I don't think I would have, knowing the kind of person I am, I don't think I would have done that, but you just never know. Once my mom really started letting me have a boyfriend, I would go over to his house sometimes. It's kind of a blur, but I remember I would just go to his house. So one time I was like, oh, I need to call my mom. Something was telling me that something wasn't right. He was in the room, but I remember taking his phone. I remember going out into this little area where you kind of just hang out. It's like an upstairs loft kind of thing. So I went over to that area. After I used the phone, I went to his messages, and I ended up seeing this girl in his messages that everybody knew. Again, not the same girl. This is a different girl. Some white girl. No shade. And I see, good morning, beautiful. I hope you have a good day. She had smiley faces and stuff. And I was like, that's what we doing? Cool. I went back in there and I said, I'm going home. I see that you got somebody else that you're texting right now. So you do that. You go be with her. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You go ahead and you do that. You go be with her. Do it. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. I was like, I already seen it. Why are you saying good morning to her? Why are you telling her you hope she has a good day? He's like, I'm just being friendly. You're just a liar, and you lie, and you lie, and you lie, and you lie. You just lie. Do what you gotta do, kid. And he seemed really hurt by it. I don't know why, because I'm like, you already act like you want to be with somebody else, so then just go do that. No skin off your back, dude. Literally no skin off your back. Go do what you gotta do. And he just seemed I guess because he got caught in it, he was so hurt by that. He just didn't, I don't know what he thought. I really don't know what he thought. I'm still trying to think to this day, what was he even thinking? I thought I was really going to just stick around. No, absolutely not. I think I ended up telling my mom, I was like, I want to change schools. I got to get out of here. I don't want to be around these people anymore. I'm so tired. The girls are still bullying me. People were just picking on me, and I felt like I didn't have any friends, and I didn't want to see his face anymore. I didn't want to see the girl he was talking to face. I didn't want to go through that yet again, because that was one of the most horrible times I've ever had to deal with. Just the embarrassment. I did not want to deal with that ever again. So I was like, Mom, just take me out of school. I want to go to a different school. I don't want to go here. I remember one of the girls that was bullying me. I remember the day that my last day, she said, finally, we got that B out of here. She's effing leaving. And then she went on to date my ex after that. She went on to date him right after that, girl. And I'm just gonna keep the rest of the tea for another day, but she regretted it. Let's just say that. She definitely regretted that. It was just a mess. I remember this one girl I had a class with, she ended up dating him too. And we were tight. And you know what the crazy part is? I would literally tell her stuff that he was doing to me. And she was like, wow, that's really messed up. Like, that's terrible, blah, blah. And as soon as I left, girl, they started dating each other. When I tell you that high school gives you a preface for what life could potentially be like, it's actually insane. People don't just pop up being really, really terrible out of nowhere. It's like a build-up of character that happens throughout high school, and then they become what they become. Either they change or they become like just psychopaths, okay? Basically, my high school story of me getting cheated on twice by the same nigga. And he was, you know, I don't even really hold like regrets, I don't really hold like any animosity towards him at all. Like, for the longest time, I didn't hate him, but I just was so angry with him because I was like, how could you do that to me? Like, I really cared about you. Like, why would you do that to me? Don't get me wrong though, I've had my fair share of some crazy interactions and situationships with other people, okay? I ended up moving to LA, and I went to the airport, and he worked at the airport. And I always remember going to the airport like, oh my gosh, what if I run into him? Even now, I'm still like, oh my gosh, what if I run into him? Because I believe he still works at the airport. I was going through the security line, the TSA line, and I remember putting my stuff down, and I look up, and he's staring right at me, and I'm like, oh, hi, Jonathan. How are you doing? And he's just like, hey, what's going on? Like, how are you doing? Where are you going today? And I'm like, I'm actually moving to LA. And he was just like, oh, cool. Like, he's like, are you staying out there for a long time? I'm like, yeah, I'm moving. And he's like, oh, well, all right. Well, have a good trip. And I was just like, thank you. And it was just almost like, I can't make that stuff up. It was almost poetic. It's like, I'm making this really big transition in my life. I'm moving to LA. And I closed this whole, this chapter, like this whole thing. I just let it go. I'm telling you how my life has this aligned in the way that it has. Even this relationship that I've been in for so long, how much we are similar to each other, but so, like, literally live, like, in another, it's crazy. And now I can't even see him because the border to Canada is closed off to the US and the other way around, so we can't even see each other right now. Okay, so I'm gonna hop off real quick, do my hair, and put my lashes on and all that, and then I'll be done. So that took me a lot longer than I expected, but I got this half wig that actually looks like my hair, which is really cool. And I just think it's so cute. But that concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. I hope you guys are trying new things, getting new hobbies, reading something that's like, you know, gonna feed your spirit, feed your soul. I just wanted to bring you guys something that's like a little bit more lighthearted, not off the top. It's kind of off the topic of what's going on around us, and I just hope you guys stay positive, and I will be back with another video very soon. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.